Hey you guys, I wanted to share with you today this little swivel clasp charm that I did for a swap that I'm in with Terry Holland, who is Bohemian Scrap Girl on YouTube. She was hosting one on Facebook, so I decided to join. The theme was summer, and for me summer means beach and poolside and flip-flops and shells and that kind of thing. So that's kind of pretty much the theme I took with mine. All of my crystals are bluish in tone, because it reminds me of the Florida blue waters, between the oceans and the, going down to the Keys and things like that, in the water from the pool. And then I included some beads that were shaped like shells, and then these are some actual shells that I've picked up on the beach. And I included a little piece of confetti that was 2012. And some flip-flops, because for me, I feel like there's no purpose in wearing shoes whatsoever. You should always be in flip-flops, and every one of these charms has a pair of flip-flops. I've included some charms that are like little fish. They're swimming in the ocean, and I think there's a dolphin in here hanging off of something right here. Little dolphin charm that's hanging. And then I included the initial to each girl that is in my group. But, the big challenge for me is I like to package my stuff up really cool when it goes out. And most everybody will put these on a tag of some kind. And I just got the Tim Holtz die cut, the bag. It's called In the Bag. And this is the die. So I decided I wanted to use it, and this is what I came up with for how I put mine together. So they'll all go out looking like this. So I'm going to show you how to do the window in the bag right now. So when you cut the bag out, it's a solid piece, a completely solid piece. And then what I did was decide which side you want to be the top or the back of the bag versus the front of the bag. And then I used a Nestabilities die, which is this rectangle die, the classic rectangles. And I used the second to the largest size, so it's this size. So I cut the bag first, and then I ran it through my spellbinders to cut out this window. And then what I did was I measured out the full size of the inside of the bag, and I cut out a piece of recycled packaging, and actually this was the Spellbinders packaging, to go on the inside, so it would create this window for my charms, so you could see through the bag and see the charms. Now I've already pre-scored all of this so that I can show you guys how it all comes together. And let me just rip off the score tape here. It goes around the perimeter of the window, and I'm going to place my piece of plastic right over the top, and I believe these are cut at 3 inches by 4 inches, but don't hold me to that. Just measure it whenever you get your bags. And then I like to roll all of that extra score tape off. So as you can see, there's my little window, and they're scuffed up a bit, but you know what, I'm okay with that, because it's recycled packaging, and also these charms are probably, when you get them in there, you're not going to see that too much. Then I'm going to take the score tape off of here and assemble my bag. Oh, and I forgot I need to put score tape on this too. So the score tape goes on the outside of the flaps. And I'm using 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch. On this one, I'm using the 1/2 inch because it's a little bit bigger surface. And again, because these charms are so heavy, I don't want this bag to come apart. They're very heavy. Well, that got goobered up. Okay, so I'm going to pull this off. And then this is going to go, I like to do the side first. So I'm going to pull this around, score all of these. And the cool thing about this bag is when you cut it, it has the score the score's already in place for you. But the score tape is not very forgiving at all. So it's a bit tricky to get it to line up right. Try and do one side at a time, because you want to get it straight. If you don't get it straight, it's not going to look right. Okay, so there we go. There's our little bag, and I'm going to just kind of rub some of that score tape off there like that. Okay, so now for the bottom of our bag, we're going to take, and it folds up like a box. You're going to push the two ends in first, and then you're going to push down the end that has the cutout in it, and then you're going to push down, and this is going to go inside of this hole like that, just like that. Now notice I have score tape on the bottom. That's fine. I'm going to take a pen or something and just kind of push that in and push those boxes down. Just the bottom of that box down, just like that. And now you have your little bag. Now on this one, all I do is I roll that tape off of there so I don't have that yuck tape there. But I'm going to leave that on there because on this one, what I decided to do, because the charms themselves are very heavy, and although they're not sitting in the bottom of the bag, if they should fall, I wanted them to have a more secure bottom. So what I did was I cut, it's 3/4 of an inch this way, and it's, I believe, 4 inches this way. Let's make sure. No, it's 3 inches this way. So it's 3/4 of an inch and then by 3 inches. A strip, and I just adhered it to the bottom of the bag, which I don't have one pre-cut, so I'll just do that in a few minutes. Then what you do is on the sides of the bags, it is actually scored so that it will, you know, has like a gusset. So I just went along those score marks just like that. See how cool that comes together? Then I took my crocodile and I used the larger of the hole of the crocodile, and I punched 2 holes in the bag. Well, that's the smaller end. Hold on. Just like that. Then I took my seam binding, and I have my little charm, and I placed the charm down inside the bag, and I positioned it where I wanted it to be, because I really want to see all those neat intricate things, but like I don't want to see the back of the flip-flops. I want them turned around to the front. I want to be able to see my little shells and stuff. So I got it positioned right where I wanted it, and I lifted this swivel up like this and folded it around the top of the bag. Now the reason I did that was because I really want it to sit. I don't want it to sit in the bottom of the bag, because if it sits in the bottom of the bag, then 1, this is going to stick up, or I have to fold it over, and 2, the charms kind of get lost in there. So I'm okay with this kind of poking up the top of the bag a little bit. I'm going to take this piece of seam binding. I'm going to go from the front to the back. So I'm going to go in the first hole. Move your charm out of the way for right now. Into the back of that hole. Just like that. Pull it through. Then this is where this gets tricky. I'll pull this around. I'm going to go through the swivel charm. Just like that. Back into this hole. Just like that. Make sure my charms are in the position that I want them to be in. And everything's visible. Then I'm going to go back into the hole that's on the front of the bag, just like that. and tie myself a little bow. I think I want it. And I tied it pretty tight so that this stayed closed. But don't tie it so tight it rips. Just kind of get your bow going. And then of course, as you get your bow where you need it to be, and just fuss with it till it's neat. And there you go. Now I'll probably come back when this is all said and done and put a little flower or something down here in the corner. But there you go. There's my little bags with the see-through hole. And see, you don't even notice that scratched glass on there. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. And that's another tip for recycled packaging. And it's a great way to use up some of these older pieces of paper that you have left over from older collections. They make cute little, this would be so adorable with a little gift card in it. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.